Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of the Fishing Teacher, and really appreciate you guys checking today's video out and spending some time with me today. Guys, we're going to be talking about flipping a fluke today. Now, a lot of people, everybody's familiar with the Zoom Super Fluke. It's probably the most talked about bait on YouTube, but most people fish a Super Fluke, just darting it around like a swim bait like that. But it is one of the best flipping and pitching baits that you will ever see. So today, guys, I'm going to give you some tips and advice on how to set it up and what to look for, where you want to use it at, and the conditions it works for in today's video. Also, guys, a couple quick things before we get started. Just want to remind you all about my on-the-water lessons. Anyone interested in booking an on-the-water lesson with me, all you got to do is go to my Facebook page, Randy Blockett Professional Angler. Just shoot me a private message. And also, guys, I'll have everything linked in the description as far as getting you set up with the Fluke on my Tackle Warehouse link. And right now, Tackle Warehouse, guys, they got a bunch of good sales, 25% off on a bunch of stuff. If you use that link in the description of the video, it's a good way to help the channel out and get some good deals on tackle too. Okay, here's the Super Fluke, guys, that everybody uses. And like I said, most people just rig it, most people just rig it like this on an EWG hook and just rig it where they can fish it fast across the surface. But guys, the thing that really works good on this, and this was actually, a friend of mine, Brent Chapman, included me in on this years ago down in Florida, is flipping a fluke on a Texas rig, just like you'd flip a jig or flip a worm or creature bait or something like that. And it's pretty simple. Most of the time I'm using like anywhere between, say, like a quarter to a 5/16 ounce slip sinker, usually like a 2 to 3 aught EWG hook. You guys hear me talking about I don't like EWG hooks. I don't. I use straight shanks most of the time, but the way that the fluke falls and the way that it sets up in the bait, it's not conducive to a straight shank. It doesn't look good. It doesn't work as good. So you definitely want to use the EWG. This is the Gamakatsu hybrid worm hook. And simply just come through about, 1/8 of an inch like you would. You're going to come through the bottom of the fluke in that little channel there and bring it out the back side of the fluke. Just simple Texas rig. And now most of the time, I don't bury it back in, guys. See, I've got it just resting on the top there. It's pretty weedless if you just let it rest across the top, and it definitely helps your hook sets. And then I'll peg the sinker, with the toothpick like that. So it's, pretty simple setup. And also, pitching and flipping it on the same type of setup I would anything else. Megabass flipping stick, usually 17 to 20 pound test Seaguar and Vizex line. So here's the situations where I've done the best on flipping a fluke around. Most of the time it's really, really good flipping it around some type of shallow vegetation. If you got lily pads, gator grass, water willows, shallow hydrilla milfoil, lily pad roots, anything like that, really, really works good. Also really works good in the state of Florida. Florida is a really good bait, really good place to throw a Texas rig fluke down there. Cattails is a really good place. If you got bulrushes or caught cattails, it can be really productive with that. But here in Missouri, I've caught them about around anything. Flooded bushes, I've caught them around flipping around underneath boat docks, lay down trees, same type of stuff that you would flip anything else. But the thing about it, it's just the profile. There's no action to it at all. It's just a stick of plastic going straight through the water, very subtle, doesn't telegraph itself, doesn't have any vibration, doesn't displace much water. The reason it works good, it's just subtle. It's a subtle, quiet bait, and that's why baits like maybe the Cinco works real good, same type of deal, no curly tail. Sometimes the bass, the mood and the personality of the bass, when they're finicky a little bit, they just want something like this that doesn't make a lot of commotion, with no curly tail or anything, or no flapping legs like on a creature bait. So that's what makes the Texas rig fluke really good in tough fishing situations. If you've got heavy fishing pressure, post-frontal conditions, bright bluebird skies, days where there's not much wind out there, just days when the bass are more difficult to catch, try downsize into the fluke and see what you get. If you're catching some fish like on a jig or creature bait, and they slows down a little bit, put your fluke on, see what they think. And by far, this is my favorite color, guys. The watermelon red. I usually dip the tail chartreuse. Out of all the colors, that watermelon and watermelon red has been my most productive colors when I'm pitching and flipping it. So anyway, just a quick video. I think it's gonna help you guys get some bites, and we'll check in later. See you.